Anabella wasn't just a name but a chilling whisper of the past, a name that has been woven into the fabric of countless urban legends and myths, a spectral figure that has haunted the dreams of many. Anabella, a name that sends shivers down the spine of those who dare to utter it. This is not the tale of an ordinary girl. She was enveloped in mystery, cloaked in enigma, and guarded by the unknown. A puzzle that has kept the world guessing, a riddle that has confounded the minds of many. Whispers of her existence have echoed through the years, each echo adding a new layer to the enigma. The tales spun around Anabella are as diverse as they are chilling. Some speak of her as a harbinger of doom, others as a lost soul trapped in an eternal loop. The truth, however, is often stranger than fiction. But who was Anabella really? Let's dive into the past. Born into an ordinary family, Anabella's life was anything but ordinary. Although her parents were simple folks, living a quiet life in the heartland of America, Anabella was born under peculiar circumstances. The night of her birth was marked by a rare celestial event, a lunar eclipse casting an uncanny shadow over her arrival into the world. Growing up in a humble home, Anabella was the middle child, nestled between an older brother and a younger sister. Despite their average everyday life, the family was often surrounded by an aura of unease. Strange incidents seemed to orbit around Anabella, like a moth drawn to a flame. From an early age, she showed signs of an unusual, almost eerie connection to the supernatural. As a toddler, Anabella would often be found talking to thin air, engaging in profound conversations with unseen entities. Her parents initially dismissed these as mere childhood fantasies, a vivid imagination at play. However, things took a turn when Anabella began predicting small, everyday events. From the exact time a neighbor would visit, to the unexpected rain on a sunny day, her predictions were always eerily accurate. When Anabella was around 7 years old, the peculiar incidents took a more unsettling turn. Objects would move on their own, doors would slam shut, and lights would flicker without any plausible explanation. These events seemed to intensify whenever Anabella was upset or agitated, leading her family to believe that she was the source of these supernatural occurrences. The family sought help from various sources, from doctors to spiritual healers, in a desperate attempt to understand and help Anabella. But the answers remained elusive. The incidents continued to escalate, casting a dark cloud over Anabella's childhood and leaving her family in a state of constant fear and confusion. Little did anyone know, these were just the beginnings of something far more sinister. The early years of Anabella's life were shrouded in mystery and fear, setting the stage for the terrifying events that were yet to unfold. As Anabella grew, so did the inexplicable events around her. The girl, who once was known for her sweet smile and endearing innocence, slowly became the epicenter of a series of unsettling occurrences. At first, these were minor incidents. Small objects would disappear, only to reappear in the most unlikely of places. The family cat would often hiss and growl at thin air, especially when near Anabella. But soon, these incidents began to escalate. Doors would slam shut with no one in sight. Lights would flicker and die out suddenly, only to relight when Anabella was nowhere close. The air would grow cold and heavy, a sense of foreboding lingering in the room long after she'd left. The murmurs started quietly, whispers of unease circulating through the town. Anabella, once a beloved child of the community, found herself the subject of hushed conversations and fearful glances. Neighbors began to avoid passing by their house, crossing the street rather than risk a chance encounter with the strange phenomena that seemed to follow the girl. As the incidents became more frequent and more terrifying, the whispers grew louder. The townspeople started to share stories of eerie shadows and chilling laughter echoing through the night. Some even claimed to see objects levitating around Anabella, circling her like satellites in an otherworldly orbit. The fear was palpable, the tension, a heavy fog that hung over the town. Parents hurried their children past Anabella's home, their eyes wide with fear. The local church saw an increase in attendance, as people sought solace and protection from the inexplicable happenings. Despite all this, Anabella remained an enigma. She was at the epicenter of it all, yet she seemed unaware of the fear she was inciting, the panic that was slowly consuming the people around her. She continued to live her life, all the while unaware of the storm brewing around her. The town was in fear, and Anabella was at the center of it all. Little did they know, the worst was still yet to come. Anabella, now a young woman, was about to face her darkest hours. As Anabella stepped into the realm of adulthood, the eerie occurrences that had surrounded her since childhood took a truly terrifying turn. The whispers of the unknown that had once been mere murmurs in the shadows now roared with a chilling intensity. Each day brought with it an escalating sense of dread, an invisible shroud that seemed to envelop her. Anabella's once charming home transformed into a theater of the macabre. Objects would move of their own accord, defying the laws of physics. Doors would slam shut with a force that was startling and unexplainable. The air would turn icy cold, as if it was being sucked of its warmth by unseen entities. And then there were the voices, disembodied and filled with an otherworldly menace, echoing throughout the house. These occurrences weren't just confined to her home. They followed Anabella wherever she went, casting a pall over her life. Her friends began to distance themselves, fearful of the inexplicable events that seemed to be tethered to her. Anabella's existence was increasingly marred by isolation and terror. As these horrifying incidents escalated, so did the whispers in the town. Rumors began to circulate, stories that painted Anabella not as a victim, but as the source of this paranormal activity. From hushed conversations in the grocery store to frightened whispers in school corridors, the townsfolk began to weave tales of Anabella's supposed otherworldly abilities. The young woman, once known for her radiant smile and vivacious spirit, was now shrouded in an aura of fear and suspicion. Anabella's transformation from a beloved member of the community to an entity of dread was complete. The town's fear of Anabella, combined with her own terror, culminated in the birth of an urban legend. A legend that would, in time, transcend the boundaries of her small town and terrify the world. And thus, Anabella was etched into the annals of horror. But what was the truth behind Anabella's story? As we delve deeper into the enigma that is Anabella, it becomes evident that truth and fiction are often intertwined, creating a chilling tapestry of uncertainty. The legend of Anabella, while steeped in horror, is also a manifestation of our collective fascination with the unknown. In the quest to decode Anabella, we come across different theories, each more intriguing than the last. Some say she was a misunderstood soul, her eerie actions a plea for help misunderstood by a society that preferred fear over compassion. This perspective brings forth the question, was Anabella the victim, not the villain? Then there are those who see her as a conduit to the other side, a bridge between the living and the dead. They argue that the strange occurrences surrounding Anabella were not her doing, but messages from spirits that used her as their medium. Could it be that Anabella was merely an innocent vessel caught in the crossfire of a spectral war? A more skeptical approach dismisses the supernatural altogether. Critics argue that Anabella's story is an elaborate hoax, a creation of a fear-hungry society. They point to the lack of concrete evidence and the inconsistencies in the accounts of her story. Was Anabella simply a victim of mass hysteria and sensationalism? However, there are those who believe in the darker theories. They claim that Anabella was indeed a malevolent entity, a being of pure terror. They point to the unexplainable events and the sense of dread that followed her. Was Anabella truly an embodiment of the terror that haunts our deepest nightmares? Each theory brings a new perspective, a different lens to view the mystery that is Anabella. As we analyze the facts, cross-examine the accounts, and dissect the theories, we find ourselves drawn deeper into the enigma. But no matter how deep we dig, the truth remains elusive. Anabella's story remains a chilling enigma, shrouded in mystery. Despite the theories and speculation, the haunting tale of Anabella continues to captivate us, reminding us that some mysteries are perhaps best left unsolved. Anabella's tale is more than just a horror story. It's a chilling saga that has seeped into the fabric of our collective consciousness, leaving an indelible imprint. Her story, fraught with inexplicable occurrences and spine-tingling events, has transcended the bounds of time, sending shivers down the spines of generations. Anabella's narrative is a labyrinth of intrigue and terror, each turn more baffling and frightening than the last. This enigmatic tale has challenged our understanding of the natural world and questioned the very boundaries of reality. Anabella's story demands our attention, beckoning us into the shadows of the unknown, captivating our curiosity and fear in equal measure. It continues to haunt our dreams, to ignite our imaginations, and to terrify us in unforeseen ways. Her tale is a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the corners of our world, mysteries that are as compelling as they are terrifying. In the end, Anabella is a testament to the enduring power of a truly haunting tale.